한번 기대를 해보겠습니다.
그렇습니다. 워낙 김유현 선수가 자랑하는 것은 그 인기, 은견 그런.
Dude, red 8. I'm totally wearing it as a sign of status. Dude, my TL shirt makes me like the most handsome nerd on the entire street wherever I go. It like makes me cooler than everybody else, for sure.
게다가 이제 브루도어 성적도 5승 3패로 대단히 좋은 성적을 가지고 있기 때문에 선반전에서 첫 번째 세트 신재욱 선수가 잡아준 이런 분위기를 이어서
It's the winged horse shirt. Okay. Actually, I'll just call you Boromir now, because K sounds weird. The winged horse shirt. Yeah. Oh, I finally put up my posters as well. Yes. So now I've got like Team Liquid posters on the wall. I've got Liquid Rising poster. Oh yeah. Nerding out. Nerding out. Oh. I done goofed. And by that I mean what's going on. This stream cannot die, by the way, because the esports TV stream is not even doing anything. What is this? What the hell is this? Look, I think we should watch this instead, because what the hell is this? What is going on? Ole, KT! I have no idea. Alright, set number 2. In the top right corner as the green Zerg, we will have STX Soul's Calm. And in bottom left as the Peach Zerg, we will have Zero, who recently made it to the OSL semifinals, where he was narrowly defeated by Jangbi in a pretty epic best of 5. I highly recommend everyone go watch that. Actually, honestly, I think the that semi-final between Zero and Jangbi was better than the finals and the other semi-final between Fantasy and Flash. I think that was actually the best series. Finals was honestly a little bit disappointing. But anyway, looks like both overlords heading to the bottom right. And so I don't know. I mean, Zero definitely overall better Zerg player than Calm. And since he's probably been practicing a lot more since he, was recently in the OSL, he's probably a little bit more comfortable here. But in DBZ, anything can happen. And we are in cross positions, so that gives both players a little bit more time to react to things, makes things a little bit less crazy. We do see a hatchery first from Calm. And from Zero, looks like. Alright, cool. So both players going for a 12 hatch. Interesting.
김유란 선수, 고추 선수 모두 다 똑같은 것 같은데요 지금.
네.
살짝 취업을 보느라고 빌드를 놓쳤었는데 똑같은 것 같습니다.
저 좀 흔들렸는데요.
네.
And we have the pool and the gas following up as expected.
아무래도 뭐 이런 식으로 러시 거리가 걸리게 되면 양 선수의 빌드 선택이 상당히 좀 옳았다고 볼 수 있는데 지금은 양 선수가 모두 똑같은 지금 전략을.
And Overlord's here. They're gonna meet here at the bottom right. So as soon as they do the little Overlord hug, Overlord kiss, then both players will know that they have spawned in cross positions. I like how there's like a perfect square being drawn out in the middle of the map. Oh no, they're breaking it! No, you're messing up the corner of the square! Ah, stupid Overlords.
김유란 선수가 오랜만에 출전을 했고 또 상당히 전략적인 승부를 거는 걸 좋아하는 선수라서 뭔가 새로운 걸 준비하고 나오지 않았을까 싶은데 또 워낙 저그전에 아무리 오랜만에 나와도 저그전에 자신감이 좀 있는 것 같습니다. 상당히 좀 무난한 빌드를 사용하면서 그냥 우선만 컨트롤로 좀 승부를 보겠다는 생각으로 나왔어요. 김유란 선수.
Wait, is that one guy on gas? I almost said two guys. Two guys on gas. Well,
한쪽은 지금은
This is interesting. Okay, so 3 guys still on gas for 0. He's gone for his lair, whereas no lair for Calm just yet. And he's only got 1 guy left on gas. This is very interesting. So presumably he got speed first, gonna do some speeding aggression and delay his lair tech by quite a bit here. This is very interesting. I'm afraid I'm pretty unknowledgeable. Is that a word? What's the opposite of knowledgeable? I don't know very much about ZPC, so I'm not really sure what's going on here, to be honest. Where's Bob for you? I'm sure he knows what's going on. Ignorant? How do you use ignorant in a sentence? What's the preposition? I'm ignorant about ZVZ? Is about the right preposition? God damn English, I should just like learn Korean or some shit. Man, this shit is hard. Ignorant of? Oh yeah, ignorant of, that's the right one. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, so I am ignorant of English, but also of ZVZ. And this is a pretty significant link attack here. Ruh-roh, the sunken's not finished! The stream is not loading! The esports TV stream is showing some random guy with a striped shirt. I don't know what's going on, but it's a drone drill. The sunken needs to finish, but oh no, Zero is gonna die! He's gonna die! The stream is gonna die! Yeah, Seaball! 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 Wait a minute. Oh, the Sunken barely dies to the last Zergling! That Zergling has 3 kills, 2 of which are presumably Zerglings, and the other one is a Sun Colony. That is a badass Zergling. But look at this, Zero looks like he might have barely held. I don't know how many drones he lost in that engagement though, because he was using his drones to drone drill. I think he must have lost a couple of drones. And this Ling attack is going to continue here. So that's why I can't pull the guys off gas, because he's just going to make a billion Zerglings. I did think he was going to do that, but I was like, why does he... But see, he kept 1 on gas, so this is actually very interesting. Look at this. So, I was like, okay, if he's going to Ling all in, he should just pull all his guys off gas, right? But no, he kept 1 on gas, because he knows he can actually still transition out. So he can do some damage, and now he's still got his lair anyway. And he didn't need that much gas. And look at this, see, Zero's now stop mining gas, because Zero now has too much gas. Zero has 300 gas in the bank, and he doesn't really know, he can't really use it. Because that early Ling attack actually stopped him from making a Spire. So, Calm's Spire actually looks like it might even be faster than Zero's. Where's Zero's Spire? Okay, no, Zero's Spire is making behind his minerals. I don't actually know how far along it is compared to Calm's, but oh my god, Calm getting a runaround with some Zerglings here. Zero making a big mistake. Zero moving out with all of the Zerglings and letting the Zerglings of Calm back into his base here. I don't think he should pull all Zerglings back. I think this is a mistake from Zero. Zero should have sent, pulled back only enough Zerglings to deal with this attack from Calm and sent all the rest to go attack. He just pulled back like, 25 Zerglings to deal with 6. This is actually stupid. Okay, now he's splitting them up. I was gonna say, but now look at this. There's already a Creek Colony up. There's already Zerglings, pumped out for Calm. So that counterattack, if it goes now, is not gonna do anything here. I think that was a mistake from Zero. I think he had a small window where he might have been able to do a counterattack and do some damage. But as it stands, he's gonna clean up these links in the back and just play defensively. And both players actually neck and neck in supply. 25 of 26. Their Spires should be getting close to completion. Looks like, yep, Calms is about to finish here. And Zero's, as I said, is a little bit further behind. Even though he got the lair a lot faster than Calm did, it doesn't even matter because he was forced to build all those Zerglings instead of building that Spire. Just to not die, but now he is poking out with his Zerglings here, gonna go put on a little bit of pressure, but he doesn't have much time. Oh my god, 2 drones being sniped there. Huge moves from Calm here, great moves there, just hiding a couple of Zerglings on the map, running them into the main while Zero is paying attention to his own Zerglings. Wow, very nicely done. It looks like 2 drones for 2 Lings there. That's a fantastic trade. And looks like Zero just trying to drone up behind, trying to catch up in the drone count. He does have a second gas taken already. The second gas hasn't been taken by Calm, but I mean, since Zero's obviously not mining his second gas, it doesn't really matter. Okay, now he's mining it. So he's gonna have a touch more gas. I mean, he was mining more gas in the beginning of the game as well, when Calm pulled his guys off. But I think Calm is in quite a nice position right now. And whoa, wait, what did he just attack? Maybe a Ling just poked in front. Anyway, the Muta's just flying around here, not going out too far. They have to be careful. Look at this, Zero just made a whole bunch of Scourge, trying to use up all his gas. Of course, Scourge are 25 minerals, 75 gas, so if you have a lot of excess gas, just dump those in the Scourge. Pretty easy peasy move. Gotta be careful though, because you know, with good muta control, it's very difficult to actually hit these mutas with a Scourge. Sometimes we do see players actually just suicide them on Overlords and whatnot, just supply block their opponent, force them to spend the minerals on the Overlords. Instead of units and drones and whatnot. And, ooh, I think he got one hit there. One of the Scourge did get picked off though. And meanwhile, another pair of Scourge flying around. I doubt they'll get a hit though. Oh, no, not gonna get anything. So Zero just being a little bit defensive now, just trying to pick off what he can with those Scourge, trying to be cost efficient. If he was lucky with his timing, he might have been able to run in with a Scourge and grab a muta as it popped out from an egg. You see a lot of pro gamers trying to do that, but as I said, it does kind of rely on luck. I mean, it's not even, there's not even anything you can really do, like skill-wise, to improve on it. I mean, I don't really see how you could kind of figure out a timing where you know when the muta is going to pop. You just kind of have to fly in with a Scourge and hope he doesn't see you and hope that the muta pops out or something like that. But it's very, very difficult, especially with how short the sight vision is of the Scourge. It's very difficult to actually get anything when you're just flying around with a couple in the main base. Anyway, so Zero, as I said, staying ahead on the gas count, but in overall supply, he's quite far behind actually, down to 41 supply against 50 supply of Calm. And you might think, well, that's not even a 10 supply difference, but in ZVZ, you know, with such a low overall supply, that's actually quite significant. And look at this, Calm is even just content. I think he knows he's in a good position. He's just content to chill in his base. But one thing I don't like is that his mutas are not moving. In Brood War, you should always keep your mutalisks moving. I think it's the same as in ST2 actually. Although for slightly different reasons. But in Brood War, there is a momentum, like there's acceleration and there's momentum on the mutas, so whoa! Bit of a miss hit there, you should actually just finish it off with the mutas. But essentially, if your mutas keep moving, they don't suffer any penalty to turning. So your muta can if it's moved, like it takes a while to accelerate from standing still to full speed, but once it's full speed, you can turn whatever direction you like, how many times you like, and you won't lose speed. Whereas if you stop moving, you will decelerate down to, you know, to a standstill, and then it'll take a small time for you to accelerate back to full speed again. So basically that little time period allows Scourge to hit you. So you really should be moving your muta around all the time, as well as for the reason of keeping them all clumped up very tightly, so it's difficult for your opponent to clone his Scourge correctly. Yeah, that's not ideal. Oh, looks like a couple more Scourge flying around. Look at this, very interesting. The Scourge don't actually want to hit each other. Would rather be more cost efficient, and I mean, yeah, it does make sense. Calm knows that he can micro this down with his muta anyway, so he doesn't want to waste his own Scourge. And looks like we have an attack coming out from Zero here with his Muse and Scourge. He does seem to be the aggressor, you know, in this mid game. Even though I'm pretty sure he's got a lower muta count, he's got the higher Scourge count, so it's kind of forcing what's his face, forcing Calm to be the one to micro through the anti-Scourge micro. But oh, look at this, we might have an engagement here. Zero getting a little bit cut off. No, using his Scourge to deflect his opponent's mutalisks. Please don't die, stream. Please don't die. I don't have a backup. Please don't die. And no, actually going to back up once again here. It's both players doing the tentative mating dance of the mutalisks. And oh, look at this, +1 upgrade actually finished for Calm. That makes me feel like he's going to go for some kind of timing attack here. No upgrades for Zero. The thing is, +1 attack and +1 carapace actually have very different meanings in the air war here in ZVZ. Carapace is a little bit more expensive. It takes a little bit longer to finish. But it is the better upgrade in these muta battles because the +1 carapace is applied every time there's a bounce from a glaive worm. So essentially for every muta attack, the +1 carapace is applied 3 times, whereas for the +1 attack is essentially only applied on the first hit, and it is applied on the second and third hits, but it's divided by 3 each time, so essentially it becomes almost nothing. Although Brood War does, I think, keep track of 1 decimal place, so it does do a little bit. But yeah, the +1 carapace is far more beneficial in the muta on muta engagements. And unfortunately, this might actually be death into GG. Nope! Looks like both players are just being a little bit passive here, so that's good. But yeah, usually the +1 attack means that you're going for more of like a timing. So since it finishes faster and it's cheaper, you're just like, alright, I'm going to go for a +1 attack. And if he goes for carapace or if he doesn't match my upgrades, as soon as my pulse one finishes, I go for an attack, and if we have roughly the same number of muta, my muta, will, obviously will be superior, and you just try and win like that. But he's not actually going for the timing here, just standing back, even though he has that upgrade finished already. So that's a little bit confusing to me. But I think overall he's slightly ahead anyway, so it's not a big deal. Although the supplies are evening up quite a bit here, only a 5 supply difference now, 87 to 82. Now, oh my god, that is a lot of Scourge here. Zero just with a huge number of Scourge, and he's gambling here. He's basically saying you don't have good enough control to really split against the Scourge, to really micro down the Scourge. So even though you have a superior mutant number, but look at this, a lot of Scourge for Calm as well, but so many Scourge going in and getting a lot of hits, but it looks like actually a lot of the muta do survive here. Zero left with almost nothing. Oh my god, Zero, that did not work at all. Zero does have the +1 carapace now, by the way, so he has the better upgrade, but it doesn't matter. So many units left over for Calm, and now he's the one going for the attack. He's also going with Lings on the ground. Multi-pronged attack going in the on the ground and in the air, leading with the Scourge to ward away his opponent's mutas. And here we go, he's moving in, he's going to force the issue, he's got way more mutas. Zero's trying to micro, but is it going to be enough? All the Scourge coming in to get their hits off. And it looks like so many muta falling, but the Ling's now on the ground. There's nothing to defend against these Zerglings. Zero is in huge trouble now, even though it looks like he will barely win the air war. The Ling is just doing massive damage on the economy here, killing all the drones, forcing the drones off the line here. The Muta's desperately trying to come back to defend, but now the rest of the Muta's coming in here. It looks like some Scourge accidentally kill an Overlord there, but it doesn't matter. I think the damage has been done. Calm now up at 40 supply to the 27 supply of Zero. Zero looks like he made a round of drones, trying to sneak a hidden expansion at the 9 o'clock. Well, not really hidden, but sneak a third base at the 9 o'clock. He's going to get spotted. Nothing too much that that Calm can do about it. He doesn't really want to risk his mutas just standing there shooting a hatchery, so he's just going to fly back, not going to worry about it. Probably will just make a second round of units reinforce and then just go and end the game before that third base can even come into play. But Calm, oh look at this, Calm also now at 1-1 upgrades, very nice upgrades for him. I think still just 0-1-4-0. And looks like Calm also taking his third base at the 9 o'clock. Oh, at the 3 o'clock rather. The 9 o'clock also was cancelled, it looks like. I don't know if that was forced to cancel or Zero's just like, well, I mean, he saw the hatchery, and also more importantly, I lost a bunch of drones, so I actually can't really afford that third hatchery anyway. So I think he probably just cancelled it to save the money and just make a couple more drones. Anyway, it's like the Muta is now moving out once again. And is he going to commit this time? Not that many Muta this time in the engagement. Much easier to control them against Scourge. Almost no Scourge for Zero this time. Oh, no, maybe they're hiding down at the bottom. No, actually not that many Scourge, only a couple Scourge here. And the Ling's leading in, just going to have a look at what exactly Zero has. And here we go, going to try and force an engagement by sniping down the drones. And the Scourge are moving in, and oh, do get a couple of mutas there. A lot of them were just split out there. I'm not sure what that was, like a bad rally point? Not really bad, just a rally point there or what? It looked like Zero manually split them, but that doesn't really make any sense. When you're microing muta against Scourge, you want them to be stacked as tightly as possible there, not spread out. Contrary to the Scourge, which you do want spread out so that they can you can split them and clone them and just hit more mutas in general. If you notice, that's actually quite important what both these players have been doing when there's a big muta Scourge engagement. The Scourge don't just A move in, because oftentimes the Scourge will all just clump up and attack the nearest target, and you'll suicide a lot of Scourge on the same muta when you only need 2 to kill a Mutalisk. So it's better to actually right-click, move-click your Scourge past the muta, and then once they're kind of overlapping, like you have a sheet of Scourge all spread out overlapping with the muta, then you kind of stop them or A-move them, and they all kind of hit different mutas. It's kind of similar micro to what you do with like Banelings and ZVT. You don't want to like A-move them, you want to right-click them past the Marines, so they just kind of like flow everything up as they're dying. Rather than if you just A-move them, it's not quite as good. It's kind of similar to that, although for slightly different reasons, of course. Anyway, the mutas of Zero are moving in here. I try and see what they can do, but not too much, as the mutas of Calm come in.
다시 한번 본진 지역에서 대기합니다. 뒤쪽으로 병력을 빼고 있는 김명훈 선수. 자, 병력
And
미네랄에도 조금씩
well. I mean, Khan is in an overwhelmingly good position here. Zero's just trying to poke around here, trying to be as cost efficient as possible, but it's so hard to come back here. He's down 16 supply, 50 supply against the 66. You know, Khan now has the third base up, that third gas crucially. Once it gets up, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Zero. And Zero looks like he's just moving into the main here with these muses. Got to be careful though. He's going to pick off an Overlord and move back immediately. As I was about to say, he does not want to get caught here, but it looks like he might get caught a little bit. Khan might be able to force an engagement. No, Zero does get away, just taking a little bit of damage. And here's the thing, I mean, Calm, I think, really probably wants to force an engagement somehow, but Zero just being really sneaky with his Muta, just picking off free units when he can, trying to pull himself back into it, but it's really not looking good for him. And now more Zergling's moving into his main base. He's got a couple of Mutas at home to defend, but he's going to lose some drones, and now the Mutas of Calm going into the natural here. Here we go, this could be it! The final battle, the final boss! And here we go, gonna pick off a couple of these mutas that just popped from the hatchery. Where's the Air Force? The Air Force of Zero is coming back. He's already taken a lot of damage, and here we go. The Scourge moving in, does get a good number of Scourge hits. There's the Muta on Muta engagement. Who has it? A lot of Scourge coming in from the back, though, for Calm, and wow, looks like Calm is gonna convincingly take it. GG from Zero, and Calm evens up the score 1-1 between STX and Woomjin Stars. Well played by Calm. Oh yes, thank you NSL. That's another good example of where you kind of move while spread out, as when you're magic boxing mutas against a Thor. Excellent, excellent example. Alright, I'm gonna make some tea. I'm like falling asleep here.